Today I'm going to show you how to make these adorable crochet baby booties in a newborn size using one hank of Be So Sporty yarn, which is my 100% bamboo yarn that's sport weight. Sport weight's a great weight for baby items, and bamboo is especially wonderful for baby because it's a fiber that's antimicrobial, hypoallergenic, and also machine washable and super soft. We're going to be using a size F crochet hook, which is 3.75 millimeters. Let's get started. You can download the free pattern at my website, and we're going to start by tying our crochet hook onto tying our yarn onto our crochet hook. Do whatever you like, whether it's a slip knot or any other sort of fancy knot or just tying a regular knot. We're going to chain 4 and slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook to form a ring. We're going to chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet, and we're going to work 11 double crochets in the chain 4 ring, not into any of the specific chains, but the actual ring. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook in the chain 4 ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do that for a total of 15 times, so that with the chain 3 counting as a double crochet, we'll end up having 16 double crochets in our ring. So it's the chain 3 and 15 more doubles. So yarn over, insert your hook in the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook in the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You want to do that for a total of 15 double crochets, so that with the chain 3 at the beginning that counts as a double, we'll have a total of 16 double crochets in our ring. Okay, we've come to the end of round 1, and when you download the free pattern, which I suggest you do so you can follow line by line as well, it's going to say to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the round to join. And what that means is that first chain 3 has chain 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to slip stitch into that top chain of the chain 3. Sometimes you have to be a little forceful with it, but you'll get it. And then we're going to start the next round with a chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch. We're going to skip the next stitch, which is this one, and in this stitch we're going to work 5 double crochets. So yarn over, insert your hook in the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we'll do that 4 more times. Okay, we now have 5 double crochets in that stitch. We're going to skip the next stitch, and in the stitch after that we're going to work a single crochet. Skip the next stitch, and in the next stitch work 5 double crochets. Skip the next stitch and single crochet in the next. Skip the next stitch and work 5 double crochets in the next. Skip the next stitch and work a single crochet in the next. Skip the next stitch and work 5 double crochets in the next. Okay, and then we're going to slip stitch to the first single crochet at the beginning of the round to join, and that completes round 2. Round 3 begins right where we left off from round 2, and we're going to start with a chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet. In that same stitch, we're going to work 4 more double crochets. Oops, I worked it in the wrong spot. You'll make sure you stay in the same stitch. So we did a chain 3, and we're going to do 4 more double crochets in that same stitch, which was the first single crochet on the last round. Okay, so now we're going to skip the next 2 stitches and single crochet in the next stitch. Skip the next 2 stitches and work 5 double crochets in the next stitch. Skip the next 2 stitches and single crochet in the next stitch. Skip the next 2 stitches and 5 double crochets in the next. We're not adding any increases in this round, so it's going to start curling up on itself, which is what I intended in this design, so that it starts wrapping around like a bootie. This is the instep, or the top of the foot. We're going to skip the next 2 stitches and single crochet in the next. Skip the next 2 stitches and work 5 double crochets in the next. Skip the next 2 stitches and single crochet in the next. Skip the next 2 stitches, and we're going to join by slip stitching into the top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the round. That will complete our instep. That also completes round 3. And this is what it will look like. Whoops, let me get my... So you can force it to be flat, but it really wants to curl up on itself a tiny bit, and that's perfectly okay. Round 4 begins by slip stitching into each of the next 2 stitches. Basically, you're trying to get to the center double crochet of this shell. So of the 5 double crochets, that would be the 3rd one in the center. Right there. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet in the same stitch. We're going to single crochet 1 time in each of the next 18 for a total of 19 stitches. Whoops, I think I went more than just the stitch. I went under the last loop of it. Okay, we've done 19 stitches of the round, which means we started in the center of this shell and we worked around 3 sides and ended up in the last shell's center stitch. So we've got 19 stitches, and now we're going to chain 11. Basically what we're doing is starting the body of the foot, and this is the part that wraps around the ankle. Okay, so we've got our chain 15. You want to make sure you don't twist your chain, and you want to come back around, skipping those stitches we didn't work single crochets in, and coming back around to the first single crochet at the beginning of this round and slip stitch to join. Okay, so now you should have 19 stitches and 15 chains in this round. And when we chain 1 and work a single crochet in every stitch and chain in this next round, what that means is we'll have 34 single crochets at the end of this round, because 19 plus 15 is 34. Okay, when it comes to single crocheting into chains, there are a number of ways you can do it. You can either work into the top and middle loop like that, or you can work into the top loop only, whichever feels more comfortable to you, and it could depend on how much tension you used in making the chain in the first place. You just want to be consistent. So I'm going to try and do just the top chain. So we're going to single crochet in each of those chains. Should be 15. Okay, I've got my 34 single crochets. I'm going to slip stitch to the first stitch at the beginning of the round to join. And now the next 4 rounds are super duper easy. We're going to chain 1 and work a single crochet in each stitch around. So do that for 4 more rounds. Okay, the sides of our booty are completed now, and now in the next 2 rounds we're going to do decreases at the toe and at the heel so that we can start creating the sole. So you'll just want to follow along in the pattern or listen to how many stitches I say to do in between the increases. So the beginning of the first round of the decreases is going to be to work 1 single crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. Okay, and then we're going to work single crochet 3 together over the next 3 stitches. So yarn up, pull up a loop, pull up a loop, and pull up a loop in each of the next 3 stitches, then yarn over and pull through all those loops. Single crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to work single crochet 3 together again, so pull up a loop in each of the next 3 stitches, and then pull through all the loops. And then we're going to work 1 single crochet in each of the next 10 stitches. Okay, then finish up our decreases with single crochet 3 together, single crochet, single crochet 3 together, and then single crochet 4 times. And if you're keeping count, we've now decreased our stitch count from 34 stitches to 26 stitches. And this is our final round for the decreases, and we're going to start with 4 double crochets, and then we're going to work double crochet 3 together, pulling up a loop in each of the next 3 stitches, and pulling all those loops together to finish our decrease. We're going to single crochet in the next stitch, then single crochet 3 together over the next 3 stitches, and then we're going to work 6 more stitches, and then single crochet 3 together, one single crochet, single crochet 3 together, and 2 single crochets. Okay, so now we've decreased from 26 stitches down to 18 stitches. We're going to fasten off, leaving a pretty decent sized tail because we're going to use this tail to now sew up our the sole of the booty. Because you want to flip this to the inside, and ideally you want to get that tail now pulled over to the back of the heel, and we're pretty close, so we just want to get it over here. You just want to weave it back over to the actual corner. Not, well, corner meaning each side of those decreases, but if you're thinking about it in the anatomy of the booty, you want to get it to all the way back to the heel. So then we're going to work through both loops of both sets of single crochets that are on each side of the sole, and we're just going to slip stitch them together. And so just working in both stitches, you can actually do this seam with your crochet hook instead of your yarn needle if you prefer. Otherwise, you could definitely pull out your yarn needle and do it that way instead. And you just want to sew these together. Okay, we're going to turn this back around to the right side facing, and you'll see we have our nice little seam on the bottom, and there's our sole with our decreases at the toe and the heel. Now if we open this back up, it's starting to look like a slipper, isn't it? So now what we want to do is join our yarn in the center single crochet from the last round of the instep where we skipped these stitches, and we're going to work in that shell and single crochet pattern along here and around the free loops of the chain from when we started the body of the booty. So we're going to join our yarn, tie it back to our crochet hook in whichever method you prefer. And I like to slip stitch to join in that center single crochet. Remember, we have 5 double crochet shells on either side there, so that center single crochet we're going to slip stitch to join, chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet, and work 4 more double crochets in that same stitch. Okay, we're going to skip the next 2 stitches from that shell, and in that first chain which is where that's joined with that shell, we're going to single crochet. Now working in the free loops of our chain, we're going to skip 2 chains, and in that next chain we're going to work 5 double crochets. We're putting the cuff on the booty now, which is kind of like the sock portion, the part that goes up the ankle. We're going to skip the next 2 chains and single crochet in the next chain. Skip the next 2 chains and work 5 double crochets in the next chain. Skip the next 2 chains and single crochet in the next chain. Skip the next 2 chains and 5 double crochets in the next chain. At the end of this round, you should have 4 sets of 5 double crochet shells and 4 sets of single crochet. Okay, so now we'll single crochet in the last chain, which is where it's joined to the center shell, from the instep. Okay, and now we'll come back and slip stitch to join in the top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the round. And we'll slip stitch across to the center double crochet of that shell. 1 more. Okay, and so now the next 3 rounds will all be the same. Basically, we're going to be single crocheting in the top of the shells and working 5 double crochets in the single crochet, but it'll be different every other round because it's offset. So we chain 1, single crochet in that same stitch, skip 2 stitches, work 5 double crochets in the single crochet, skip 2 stitches and single crochet in the top of the shell, skip 2 stitches and work 5 double crochets in the single crochet, skip 2 stitches and single crochet in the top of the shell, skip 2 stitches and 5 double crochets in the single crochet, skip 2 stitches, single crochet in the top of the shell, skip 2 stitches and 5 double crochets in the single crochet, and then slip stitch to the single crochet at the beginning of the round to join. We're now starting the next round with a shell because we ended on a single crochet, so we're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and work 4 more double crochets in the same single crochet. Skip 2 stitches, single crochet in the top of the shell. You get the drill. We're going to work these last 2 rounds one more time, and then I'll show you how we do the edging round. All 4 rounds of the cuff are complete. Whoops! And now I'm going to show you how to do our edging round. It starts with a chain 3 and a 2 double crochet cluster. Yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You now have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to skip the next 2 stitches and slip stitch into the next stitch. And what that does is that turns that cluster on its side so it lays horizontally across the last round of the booty. So we're going to chain 3, work 2 double crochet cluster in the same stitch we just slip stitched into. And then we're going to skip 2 stitches and slip stitch in the next. And you'll see how it's laying down sideways across that last round. And we're just going to repeat this all the way around with chain 3, 2 double crochet cluster is as follows. Yarn over your hook, insert it into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We now have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, skip 2 stitches and slip stitch into the next. You can see that they're all laying down sideways. It's a really, really pretty effect, and it helps bind the last round so that it has a little more stability. So we're going to chain 3, and I'll show you how to do it one more time. Yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3, skip 2 stitches and slip stitch into the next. And you just want to repeat that all the way around, fasten off, and weave in all your loose ends. And then obviously you're going to need 2 booties, so you're going to repeat this whole process to make the set. This is the first video in a several video series of an entire baby layette that's all going to have a matching stitch pattern. This is the first video of the booties. The next one will be for a hat. The one after that will be for a sweater, and the one after that will be for the matching blanket. Please subscribe to my channel so you'll know when those videos are ready. And if you want more information on downloading this free pattern or more information about this beautiful bamboo yarn, Be So Sporty, please check out my website, KristinOmdahl.com.